Welcome to the Poetry Moment, featuring Carolyn Forché's poem, Prayer. I'm Sarah Luckadoo. Since 1975, Carolyn Forché has used her poetry to open the world's eyes to the inhumanity of humans. After she won a Guggenheim Fellowship in her 20s, she traveled to El Salvador with Amnesty International and witnessed the beginning of the civil war in that country. She read for Joko Palizzo in 2016 and taped an edition of The Writing Life when she read this poem. Forché spent years in El Salvador, translating poetry and documenting the work of death squads, only escaping the country a week before the outspoken advocate for human rights, Archbishop Oscar Romero, was assassinated. One of her famous poems recounts a sarcastic Salvadoran colonel dumping a bag of human ears onto the dinner table in front of her. Forché has seen some horrors in this world and does not flinch from writing about them. Later, Forché coined the term poetry of witness and collected her anthology, Against Forgetting, poems from writers around the world who had endured extremity when they were imprisoned, at war, tortured, or exiled. She never stopped writing about these atrocities around the world and has published 5 books and 3 memoirs. Forché wants to establish what she called a social space between the personal and the political, she explained in an edition of Joko Palizzo's The Writing Life interview show. A human rights activist and professor at Georgetown University, Forché won the Academy of American Poets Fellowship in 2013, a prize formerly won by Gwendolyn Brooks and Robert Frost. Academy Chancellor and fellow poet Juan Felipe Herrera praised Forché this way: for her steady gaze into the abyss and for her crafted house of awakened human heavens where she calls us to live. We celebrate and recognize Carolyn Forché and her heroic career, gathering word by word embers to space and save lives before they are disappeared. Her poem Prayer was published in 2004 based on images and news about refugees fleeing the first Iraq War. The verse carries themes that are pervasive in Forché's work, including religion and trauma, as well as the yearning for safety and home. Forché explained on The Writing Life, "It's been said that poetry is the natural prayer of the human soul. I think people turn to it in times like these. If we have any future as humankind, poetry will be there with us, accompanying us." And now, The Prayer by Carolyn Forché.
Prayer. Begin again among the poorest, moments off in another time and place. Belongings gathered in the last hour, visible, invisible. Tin spoon, teacup, tremble of tray, carpet hanging from sorrow's balcony. Say goodbye to everything. With a wave of your hand, gesture to all you have known. Begin with bread torn from bread, beans given to the hungriest, a carcass of flies. Take the polished stillness from a locked church, prayer notes left between stones. Answer them and hoist in your net voices from the troubled hours. Sleep only when the least among them sleeps, and then only until the birds. Make the flatbed truck your time and place. Make the least daily wage your value. Language will rise then like language from the mouth of a still river, no one's mouth. Bring night to your imaginings. Bring the darkest passage.